Hey guys, so this is call one of our Coach University. So today's topic, we are really going to just cover launching your business, goal setting, and the basics of social media and inviting. So these calls are really geared towards everyone being able to ask questions if you have questions, and really just soaking in a lot of the information that we will be covering this week and then all through this series for this training. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bozzo. I am helping run this group, and I've been a coach for about 2.5 years, so I'll give you kind of a background about myself. My team is Legacy United, and like I said, 2.5 years ago, I decided to take on this whole coaching thing by someone who was inviting me. She had sent me a random Facebook invite, so you guys are hearing us talk about the 3 vital behaviors. Constantly, consistently, what you want to be doing every single day. So I got this invite about coaching and asking if I would like to hear about the opportunity. She thought that I would be great at coaching. It took me about 5 to 6 weeks to kind of overcome the skepticism behind the whole thing, but I had done P90X, I had done TurboFire, like I was a Beachbody junkie for the programs, but I had never tried Shakeology, and I had never really, I had never even heard about coaching until this email. So I decided why not? Because my story, my background is at the time when I got this invite, my husband was about to be deployed. He's in the Navy, and we had just moved across the country from Pennsylvania to Gulfport, Mississippi, where we live now. We were over $140,000 in debt, and we were just kind of realizing it at that time. So we were considering filing bankruptcy. I was drowning in just all of this emotion and stress because I was a stay-at-home mom, and I knew that in order for anything to change, I was going to have to go and get a job. I have 2 little girls, so I'm a mom, and my kids were neither one of them were in school yet. They were just little, so I was having such a difficult time even processing the thought of having to go and work a full-time job. But as coaching was starting to emerge, even before I decided to go ahead and do this, I was applying for teaching positions down here, and nothing was coming available. So that's when my mindset really did start to shift. So I signed up to be a coach, really just, I don't even know what my whole reasoning was when I signed up. I guess it was because we were military, and I knew that I could get signed up for free. So, and I'm sitting here, I am the coach who did not buy a challenge pack. So you're going to hear us say, you want everyone to buy a challenge pack. And that is true. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I regret now not buying the challenge pack because I see the value in it. But I just paid the $40 to sign up to coach. So don't ever discredit those people as you grow your business who do come on and they're just like, I want to learn how to run a business. So I signed up, and it took me a couple weeks before I even did anything with the coaching opportunity. But I remember I got on a Monday night Dream Team call, and that's when I first heard Melanie speak. And one of the things that she was talking about, she was giving kind of a business opportunity presentation that night on the first call that I hopped on. And she was telling me her story, and she mentioned how much money she was making. And she was talking about, why not you? Remember those words so clearly. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm building this business from my kitchen table. Why not you? That is when my mindset really, it exploded. I was like, okay, you know what? She's right. Why not me? Why can't I have this belief in myself to dig deep, find my bigger purpose, find this why that I had been hearing about. Everyone's saying, why do you want to coach? Well, I kept saying, I want to help people. And that's true. I bet every single one of you on this call or listening to this recording has said, I want to help people. That's why I became a coach. And I want you to understand right now that while that is true, and that's amazing, you should want to help people. That's a great reason to start coaching. That's a job description. That is what we do as coaches. So your why we're going to be having you guys digging really deep to figure out your bigger purpose. Why do you want to do this? My why became because I had to help my husband with the finances. I had to help somehow get us out of this insane debt that we had realized we were in. I didn't want the creditors calling our phones anymore. I wanted to make our life better. I wanted my kids to grow up not stressing out because mommy and daddy were stressed out over finances. I didn't want to have to look at my kids one day and say, you can't take dance classes, you can't play soccer, you can't do these things because we can't afford it. That was like a paralyzing fear for me that I never wanted that to happen for my kids. So that was my why. So when I was starting this business and I didn't know what I was doing and I would get frustrated sometimes and I was like, is this worth it? No one's joining my challenge group the first week that I was a coach because I was kind of like, well, I put up one post on social media, so why isn't everybody flocking to me? Okay, that was my mindset when I first started. I had to realize that it's going to take a little bit of time. I had to act like a top coach in order to become a top coach. I had to get out of my own comfort zone, and I had to launch my business. I had to start to learn how to do this. And I treated it, we call this the Coach University, because this business, it is kind of like a college degrees, like a college course. You can almost look at these trainings as semesters of classes that you're going to take. You're not going to come into this business and automatically just know how to do it all, be awesome at it, and have people flocking to you. If you have that, that's amazing, good for you, but you still have to grow and make sure that you are adding new contacts and new people to your business because, you know, that's what we're all about. It's just about helping people, focusing on 3 people a month to enroll them into a challenge group and just really focusing on that purpose while remembering why in the world it is that you are going to continue through this. You're going to believe in yourself. You're going to grow confidence. And I'm going to say something about the confidence because for me, again, I'm a completely different person sitting here in front of you today, now 2.5 years later than whenever I started this business. My confidence was shot at the beginning. I was 10 to 15 pounds heavier than I am now. Again, I didn't have that people person skill, I guess. Had someone told me that I would be running, hosting calls like this, speaking on stages, I would have laughed, okay? So it is growing into the person that you want to become and just committing to changing a little bit every day. And then all of a sudden, you're going to fake it until you make it. You're going to hear us say that a lot. Because it's kind of like you have to put your shoulders back. And even though on the inside you might be feeling like, oh my goodness, what do I say to this person when I'm inviting? Who do I invite? What do I talk about whenever I'm talking about coaching or challenge groups? Okay, that's completely normal, a normal way to feel. You're just going to, the more you do it, the more you talk about it, the more you learn, the more you're going to grow. So I hope that helps a little bit. If you are sitting here and you're like, I'm confused, I don't know what I'm doing, just take my advice and put one foot in front of the other every day. I'm going to kind of lay it out here on this call today. But the 3 vital behaviors, it's what it's all about. So you have to be a product of the product first. You have to be doing your workouts. You have to be drinking your Shakeology. And you have to really be talking about it and just sharing it. Posting in your challenge groups and just being there and upfront with people. You know, this business is not about being perfect. So don't think that if you fell off the wagon one day or you didn't stick to your nutrition that all of a sudden you're going to fail as a coach. No, you need to talk about that because none of us are perfect. No one ever expects you to be perfect and no one wants people in their life who are perfect because, you know, that sets an unrealistic expectation is really what it is. So being a product of the product, you know, your personal development that you hear us talk about all the time, or you at least will be hearing us talk about all the time. I discredited reading a book when I first started coaching. It took me probably 3 months to get through my first personal development book, which was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And once I finally said, okay, this personal development bit is not it is something that I have to focus on. I can tell I'm not going to grow to be a good coach unless if I grow myself personally to become someone, because I don't know what it is that I'm doing with this coaching. I need to learn how to do it. So personal development is learning something new. It's learning a skill. It's learning to change your mindset to focus on belief and confidence and consistency and seeing the vision and the bigger picture and the bigger purpose over time. Doing these things every day that we're going to teach you, inviting, doing your workouts, drinking your Shakeology, reading a book or listening to an audiobook, posting on social media. These books have helped me and will help you understand that while you might not feel like you're making a huge impact every day that you're doing it, like while you're doing it, it's what's going to happen over time. It's that consistency over time that you're going to be here in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, and looking back, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, the impact that I have made on my family's life, on 50 to 100 to 200 people more of my challengers, of new coaches who sign up on my team. Like looking back and seeing such a huge impact, that is when you're going to say, aha, this is what it's all about. It really does matter what I'm doing. So making these short-term sacrifices in order to have this long-term success. Doing what people are not willing to do right now, in the here and now, every single day, in order to create a life that you are dreaming about, that you want to live, that you're hoping and dreaming that, you can do these big, amazing things with this business. Because I'll tell you, Beachbody is a platform for you to accomplish, really, I'm going to say any dream that you ever think possible, because I'm living it. And I want you guys to understand that I'm no different than you. I'm just 2.5 years ahead of the game. I'm ahead of where you are. But every person coming into this business, we all start in the exact same place. So everything that we are giving you, all of the tools for success, we want you to implement. We want you to understand that by doing these things, you truly will be successful. And it really starts, this basis starts with Success Club. Launching your business, posting on Facebook. I know that we've been talking about this. And this post at launch, we want you to post a transformation picture of yourself. We want you to post a selfie. I was the person who would sit on the other side of the computer and laugh at all the people who would post selfies before I became a coach. Okay, guys, I understand if you are not comfortable yet posting on Facebook, if you don't get why we're telling you to post on social media, I can understand completely, because I never used social media before I started my business. I started my business with 140 Facebook friends, and most of them were from high school and college and family. So I would be the one who was like, oh my gosh, that girl posted a selfie, or oh my gosh, why are they posting on social media so much? Well, coaching has kind of introduced me to that why. It's because you can use this social media as a way to build your business. So that is what we're trying to encourage you to get past what other people think about you. Who cares? A quote that I read and I printed out a long time ago, and I keep it in my office, is you cannot pay your bills with other people's opinion. So remember that. Write that down. Every time you feel like, oh, I don't want to post something on social media today. Somebody might have a negative comment or a negative thought, or somebody might delete me on Facebook. Remember that quote, and you cannot build your dreams with the opinions of other people, and keeping that in the forefront of your mind. So launch your business, grow, understand that it's just going to take 3 to 5 posts to learn to be consistent and doing this daily. Post 2 times a day about who you want to attract. So who would the perfect person be for you to work with? It's probably going to be someone like yourself, or the person that you want to grow into, the person you want to become. So really focusing on attracting like-minded people. I think it's so important to understand, you don't want to just post a post. Okay, your social media post should be, one could be fitness related. Maybe for me, I've started out with like fitness motivation in the morning. And if you guys follow me, you're going to see every single day between 5 and 6 a.m. I get up and I work out. Does that mean that that's what kind of coach you have to be? Heck no. You make your own schedule, but you make it consistent. So that's just what works for me. I'm a mom. I like my quiet time before my kids wake up, and that's why I get up so early. Again, if I always wanted to set my alarm clock for 5 a.m. even on the weekends, no, but I do it because I know that it works for me. And I have followers now who kind of expect that post. So every single day you're going to see my morning motivation for my workout. Usually around lunchtime or mid-morning, I'm doing some kind of a post talking about my business. And then usually I'll post maybe a recipe mid-afternoon, or I'll post a picture of my food, or something, again, maybe about my family or my kids. That's usually what I do. And then evening, it's going to be maybe what I'm doing for the night. And then I'll post my business lunch or a challenge group post, or I'll talk about the coaching opportunity. That is what, if you go to my page, that is what you can expect from me every single day. I don't stray. I don't talk about politics. That's one thing that's a big don't. You don't want to get people like, I don't know, you don't want to be negative. So I'm encouraging you all to just find the positives and just post about that. And then, so really you're going to launch your business, and you're going to talk right now. We want you to be talking about your challenge group, inviting to challenge groups. Your next challenge group should be starting on January 18th. So you should be inviting people to a January 18th challenge group. It's so important to remember to invite to something. So that way, first of all, you're not confused, and you're helping other people understand, okay, well, what is this thing that she's talking about on Facebook? Or what is this thing that I'm getting a message about in my inbox? You know, I always say, I always ask them. So I'll make it personal. So in my invites to people, I'll say, you know, hey, Ashley, how are you doing today? Your kids are getting so big. And then I'll maybe like leave a space, and I'll say, hey, I was thinking about you because I'm running an online health and fitness support group starting on January 18th. Can I send you some information about it? That's it. I don't say anything more than a few sentences. I don't want to overwhelm people. And generally, when I end with a question, can I send you information? Most of the time, they say yes or sure or whatever. And then I go straight into, as soon as I get that okay to send them information, I automatically go to I work from a script. I work from a document because it's easier for me to copy and paste what I'm going to say to people, because for the most part, I talk to everyone the same way because I just ask a lot of questions. So as soon as I get someone who responds with, yeah, sure, you can send me some information, I quickly respond with, okay, great. First, can you tell me what it is that your health and fitness goals are for 2016, or what your health and fitness goals are now? Do you currently work out? Do you currently follow any type of a nutrition plan? I ask a couple of questions right off the bat because I'm not going to word vomit like we say all the time. I'm not going to tell them so much information that they get confused. I'm going to learn about them more, and I'll say, hey, can you give me a peek into your day-to-day? What do you work outside of the home? Are you married? Do you have kids if I don't know them? So these are just asking questions. That is what our job is. I want to get to know every person that I'm talking to on a more personal level, so that way it doesn't feel like I'm just selling them something. I want to genuinely get to know them, and by asking them these questions, and then I can direct them if I think that generally most people I talk to about the 21-day fixture, because it really is geared towards every fitness level. It's combined with the nutrition plan. But there might be some people who, that's just not their cup of tea. So I'll find that out in the questions that I ask. So, and I can post in our group in the Coach University too, what I work from, like how I talk to people, some examples of what it is that I say. So that can help you guys kind of understand that while this seems scary to you right now, in 30 days from now, if you're doing it every day like you should be, consistently talking to 3 new people a day, that's it. Well, I'll say 3 to 5. For me, when I first started, I went on like the 5 or more route because I knew that I wanted to grow my business a little bit faster. But knowing that I'm going to talk to at least 3 to 5 new people a day, just sending out that quick connection, that invite for the 3 vital behaviors. The invite can literally just be you saying, hey, Sally, I've been thinking about you lately. It's been a really long time since we've connected. How are you? How's the family? You don't always have to lead with, I have a challenge group, and this is this and this and that. It's just, how would you want to get a message? Would you rather get a message from someone who is genuinely caring about what it is that you're doing? Or would you respond to a message of something that feels super salesy if someone would send you a message like with a whole bunch of words just saying, hey, do you want to buy the 21-day fixed challenge pack and join my challenge group and do this and this and this? I personally would probably not respond to that type of a message, but you better believe I'm going to respond to somebody who's asking me how my family is and giving me a compliment about my kids and something about that. So just really understanding that inviting, while it seems kind of scary at first, it's just because it's unnatural. It's not something that most of you are used to doing, but it's something that the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And also understanding, too, that this is kind of just a way that you're going to build trust with people. So you're going to get a lot of no's. I still get a lot of no's from people 2.5 years later into my business. However, I always look at every no as a no, not right now. Because I cannot even tell you guys how many people have told me no, and they've come out of the woodwork a couple months later because they see my posts on Facebook. They see that I'm building. They see that I'm not going anywhere. And they look at me as a professional now because they've built trust in what it is that I'm doing, the integrity that I have, and the fact that this is a business that I treat as a business, and I'm here to help people. I'm not here to just sell you something. So that's where the whole social media aspect comes into play too. You would get a message from someone too. So say this, you're sending out your invitation for your next challenge group, and somebody gets that message from you. I can almost bet that they're going to go to your Facebook page before they even respond to you, and they're going to creep on your page. You know it, because we all do it. I know I certainly do. So if they go to your page and they don't see that you've posted anything for, I don't know, a couple weeks, or you were posting consistently 3 times a day for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden there was no posts, and then maybe a few days later you had 1 post, and then nothing. They see that as inconsistency, and it's almost a lack of trust. So understanding, again, as we preach social media, as we're teaching you how to post and what to post, this is the reason why. We're trying to help you build trust with your future challengers, with your future coaches, with your future team, and this is really how it starts. So that's really the basics of the social media aspect and the inviting. And again, I know a few of you have hopped on, so if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat bar or unmute yourselves and go ahead and ask. It's totally informal, and I love questions. Let me take a drink real quick. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about, developing your why, launching your business, the basics of social media, and really what that inviting means and what it entails and why it's so important. That we really have to, and then, and responding to your posts. So I want you guys to, if you've done your transformation post, or if you've done that call to action post, which I hope you have, that we have been talking about, where, you're saying, like or comment this picture or this post for more information about my upcoming challenge group, or something along those lines. So a really great place for you to start in knowing who to really invite is if you've gotten any likes on your posts lately. then all you have to do is send that person a message. That can almost be your invites for the day. So anybody who likes my pictures, I just send them a quick message and I'm like, hey, thank you so much for liking my pictures, or thank you for following me on Facebook. I really appreciate it. How are you today? And then if it's something that was a challenge group post geared, I ask them, hey, I noticed that you liked my post about the challenge group that's upcoming on January 18th. Can I send you some more information about that? Again, do you see? I am so fluent in it because no matter what, it always goes back to, can I send you some information about my challenge group that is starting on X date? It's repetitive. So that's the basics of that. So you can definitely take that too, go back through your posts that you've done and just write down the names of anyone who has liked or commented on any of your Facebook posts, or Instagram if you use Instagram. You'll hear me say Facebook all the time, but really I just mean like social media aspect. And keeping a track of your business. So you hear us talk about the business activity trackers too, guys. It's so crucial and critical for you to keep some kind of track of it. I still don't like it. I still don't like to do it. There's no really right or wrong way. I have chicken scratch, but I will show you guys. Literally, this is what I do. And it works for me because I'm a total pen and paper person. I can even find it in my notebook here where I write everything down. But I do. Everything for me always goes back to pen and paper. But this is literally my personal business activity tracker. And hold on a second, I'm going to update the date here. You'll see. So, you see this? See how simple this is? And for me today, I decided I'm going to invite 6 new people. So I just wrote down, at the top, invite new to my January 18th challenge group. And then I leave 6 spots. And I'm going to go back. I have a master list. So I'm going to just go and I'm going to just pick 6 names off of my master list that I have of people that I want to connect with, new people who've accepted me on Facebook. And as I invite them, I'm going to write their names in there. And then friend requests. I'm going to send out 5 new friend requests. What does that mean? When I send a friend request, I literally just go on the people you may know list, and anyone that has 5 or more Facebook friends in common with me, I just hit click. I just click on add friend. And that used to be the scariest thing in the world for me to do, because I was like, oh my gosh, what if they ask me if I know them? Like, I would get so scared, just the thought of what if they would send me a message and ask me why I'm Facebook friend requesting them. And finally I was like, okay, big deal. All that I have to say is, yeah, I saw that we had a few mutual friends in common, and you look like someone maybe I would connect with. Or if they have a picture of their kids on their profile picture, I'll say, I see you're a mom too. I'm a mom. Maybe we can connect sometime. It's just something like that. And most of the time they're like, oh, okay, cool. And most of the time I don't ever even get anybody who messages me. They usually just add me. So it really is not scary once you do it a few times. And then down here, so today I'm going to invite 6 people to the business opportunity. So I'm going to send them a message. It's people that I've been kind of talking to before, or maybe that I've seen posting about fitness a lot, or they're really into nutrition and I feel like they would make good coaches. I'm just going to send them a quick message and, connect in the same way I would connect talking about a challenge group. But instead of saying, hey, can I send you some information about my challenge group, I'm just going to change the wording. I'm going to be like, hey, can I send you a pre-recorded call that I've done that explains what coaching is all about, because I really think you'd be a great coach on my team. And that's it. That's all that I'm going to do. And for you guys, if you are comfortable with going out that far out of your comfort zone right now to talking about the business, you can go to YouTube. You can copy one of Melanie's business opportunity calls. You can copy one of mine. There are other tons of coaches. We have our business opportunity calls that are always going to have the same information and the same content. You can just send them a link from somebody else, because that's what I did for probably my first year and a half. I didn't do my own calls because I was nervous to do it. I was nervous to talk in front of people. So I would just send them one of Mel's, and it worked great. It was the same content. And then I'm going to follow up with 10 people today. My power hour is going to be after this call. So follow up with 10 people, and that's it. That's my power hour right there. And then I just have my groups. So the groups that I need to check into, I list them. And then I'm a queen of highlighters. Like here's my little, like I have a highlighter in every color. So literally like I like to just highlight the stuff as I do it. And then I have one-on-one calls, and I have 2 this afternoon. So I just write down my one-on-one calls. And then I worked out at 6 a.m. My Shakeology is, I actually had it for breakfast. I just didn't write it in here yet. And then I'm going to post on Facebook today 5 times. And one of those Facebook posts is going to be a call to action about my next challenge group.
I have a question. Can
Yeah,
you hear
sure.
me? Oh, perfect. Okay. So in regards to the follow-ups, do you say, like, what do you kind of say to that? Is it like, hey, I know we had spoke before. I was wondering if now you'd be interested, or do you just like say, hey, how are you? And then kind of go from there. What's your thought process on that on the follow-ups?
No, my follow-ups actually, let me pull up right now because I've been spending a lot of time doing follow-ups. I'll read you on exactly what I have been saying. Give me just a second to pull up a couple that I sent out yesterday. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through here. All right, so this is what I wrote. And I just copied and pasted this to everybody that I followed up with and just changed the name because I needed to follow up with people from like the end of November, December that I kind of just, I hate to admit it, but I just kind of forgot about over the holidays. So I wrote, hey, Christy, I know that we chatted a couple of months ago about you joining one of my online health and fitness accountability groups. I wanted to take some time today to check in and see if now is a better time for you. I know the holidays are over and real life is back. I don't know about you, but I know the last couple of months have been super hectic for me, and I'm glad to be back on track. My next group starts on January 18th. Are you still interested? Can I send you some information about it? Hope to hear from you soon. And this person in particular got right back with me. She's like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. And she ordered her challenge pack last night. It's not always like that. I'm not trying to like make it sound like everybody's going to just snap their fingers and order. But this is someone who I had formed a relationship with that she was ready to order back like right after Thanksgiving. And we both just kind of lost connection. So she was ready to join the challenge group, and she got her 21-day fix challenge pack last night. That's it. And I copy and paste it. Is that helpful? Is that good? Okay, cool. Awesome. So, yeah, and so as you guys can see, it's really, that's it. And this is what I have done literally every day in my business for 2.5 years. The thing that has made me successful is the fact that I've done it every day for 2 years, and I'm just that much further along. I focus on helping 3 to 5 people a month in a challenge group and adding 2 to 3 coaches every month to my team. And that could be people who just want their Shakeology for the discounted price, or that might be a couple people who are like, okay, yeah, I want to try this business. I see the bigger picture. I want to be like you. I want to, maybe pay off a little bit of debt, or I want to save money for a family vacation next Christmas or something. Just helping people to understand that, you can actually build a solid business with this, and you can set your own goals. Not everybody wants to be a top coach in this business. That can be scary. Not everybody wants to quit their full-time job to be a full-time Beachbody coach. Don't think that that is like the end-all, be-all goal. We have so many successful coaches who are completely different, and they just build in different ways. So, maybe your goal is to just be able to earn an extra $100 to $200 a month to pay for some groceries. That was my big goal, you guys, when I first started, whenever I set some goals. So we're going to kind of switch gears and go to goal setting here for a little bit. My goal was if I could make $100 to $200 a month, that would be like the biggest blessing on the planet, because we were like maxed out on credit cards, my husband and I. So to be able to pay cash for a little bit of our groceries that was going to be huge. So my big push goal that I wanted was to be able to make like $200 a month. And when that happened, that actually happened within my first month. I made my first month, so my first 4 to 5 week period for me, I made about $350 because I helped, I think it was 5 people that I got into a challenge group that month. And I just remember I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm just going to do this every single month. That's my goal, is just to do this every month, and I'll be able to pay for all of our groceries. And it just compounds and it compounds. And it's like over time, this income just started growing, which in turn made my goals start to change a little bit because I wanted to push myself. So for me, that's why, you guys see me. I'm sitting here, 10-star diamond, 2 times elite coach, because I wanted that. That is my goal, to push further. I have very successful coaches on my team personally. One is a teacher. She's been in the business now for 13 months, and she is making more than her teacher's salary as a coach. And she literally, for her first 6 months of her business, only worked 30 minutes a day. That's all the time she had, because if we have some teachers in here, especially if you're in your first few years of teaching, you guys are working like 12-hour days a lot of times. I'm not a teacher, but I know, you have to be there super early, sometimes before the buses, to get the kids off. And now there's like meetings and in-service days and all of this stuff, extracurriculars that teachers stay after for, to where she was like, I only have 30 minutes. So she'd get up extra early and then work for a few minutes when she got home. And now she works like an hour to 2 hours on her business because her goals have changed. Now she's like, I see a bigger picture. Maybe I want to quit teaching within the next year because my business is already bringing in more than my teacher salary. So maybe this is going to be a shift in my goal. So, setting your own goals to be based on what you want to achieve, but also understanding that setting monetary goals is not a bad thing. I kind of would feel guilty for probably the first 2 months of my business saying out loud, my goal was to make money. But then finally a switch flipped and I was like, why am I afraid to tell people that I want to make some money with this? This is a job. We all have to work for a living. So why is it bad? And I knew that my income would be a direct reflection of how many people I was helping to achieve their health and fitness goals, how many people I was talking about the business opportunity with. And I had a couple hours a day to sit at my computer and yes, get sweaty palmed and feel like I was breaking out into hives my first 6 months because I had to message people privately that I didn't know, and I had to post on social media. That was so scary for me. I had to read personal development and listen to the National Wake Up Call every single week. I would get on the Dream Team calls every week because that was my personal development. That would fill my cup. That would help me feel like I was on top of the world. And as soon as I was done listening to those, motivational speakers or whatever, that's when I would hurry up and do my invites because I felt like, okay, even if somebody is going to tell me no or something, I'm going to be okay because I feel so good with what I was just filled up with that I believe that I can be so successful in this business that nothing is going to stop me. So having that purpose and knowing that belief and believing in not only yourself, but also in what this company stands for, the integrity behind it, you're portraying all of that. So you can truly make anything that you want out of this business. Your first goal is always going to be hitting Success Club. Non-negotiable. When we say non-negotiable, that means you better be inviting at least 3 to 5 people a day, doing that, power 30 minutes even. Like I said, it can be done in even 30 minutes if you're focused, you're laser focused, you have your list you're working from, and you're committed to just getting better, talking to people every day, and just forming those relationships is what it's all about. So 3 people with a challenge pack every month and running a challenge group every month. That's the basis. That will start the momentum in your business, but not understanding that whether you are here to make an extra couple $100s a month or to eventually grow to big things in the company, it's up to you. But it always is going to rise and fall with achieving Success Club. And then going that next step in achieving Emerald rank. So then signing up 1 to 2 people on your team. So 2 people, that will make you Emerald, and we'll go into that in a later call. I don't know what happened. It just like went away. Sorry, so we'll go over that in a later call about like more details about signing coaches and stuff. But really understanding that like Emerald rank, that's like the next thing that you want to accomplish. Success Club, then Emerald. And we're trying to help you guys achieve this in your first 30 days. That's kind of where the excitement and the momentum and everything you're doing, it pans out. Because I understand, you know, maybe you're sitting here and you're like, I haven't sold a single challenge pack yet. And I really am doing my 3 vital behaviors. And I really am working hard. I commend you. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Because, you know what, my first month in my business, like I said, I earned like a little over $300. But 3 or 4 of those people that ended up ordering a challenge pack, honestly, I can say it was not because I was consistent in my 3 vital behaviors like I should have been. It was because I was trying to bribe people. I was trying to beg all of my family and my friends, hey, please believe in this next thing that I'm going to start to do. And I promise, like, I'll help you have weight loss and like all of this stuff. So I know one of my challenge packs was my mom. Another was from a friend. But it was me literally saying like, please, please, please. So then my second month in my business, I openly talk about this. I did not hit Success Club that month. And it made me feel totally defeated. And I was like, I actually invited that month. I actually did the 3 vital behaviors. But looking back, that was June of 2013. And then July of 2013, I really gave myself a gut check. Because I felt sorry for myself the whole month of June because I only sold 1 challenge pack. But I looked back through the invites that I was doing, and I looked back through my photos on Facebook, and they were horrible. And I think that I knew that they were horrible at the time. My conversations, I would send people books. I'm not kidding. When I would do an invite, it wasn't like what I just explained to you guys. When I first started inviting, I would never ask a single question other than, will you buy something? Towards the end, I would talk about my challenge group. I would talk about the coaching opportunity and how you can save 25% and then how you could make 25%. And then I would talk about myself. Like in this whole, I'm telling you, if you would have printed it, it probably would have been 2 pages. And I would copy and paste that same thing to like 20 people a day. No wonder people were blocking me and not answering me. I would have never responded to something like that. So giving yourself permission to have some grace, but also to give yourselves a gut check. Go back and read through some of your invites and honestly ask yourself, if I were to receive a message like this from someone, whether it be a friend, an old friend, an acquaintance, or a stranger, would you respond? Do you feel like it's genuine? And if you say no, then work on that aspect, that personal development where it's like, okay, I truly do care and I want to help other people, and start fresh. Start with those new invites of just connecting with people and asking them how their life is, how their family is. But you have to do this in order to build a business. And I say this all the time, this business can be the easiest thing that you do, or it can be the hardest thing that you do. What's going to determine that is literally right here. It's your own mind. It's right between your ears. And you get to decide how you're going to approach this business. It's not rocket science. I say, what's hard is the men and women fighting for our country who are like in war. That's hard stuff, right? The people who are fighting for something more. Us sitting on the opposite end of a computer screen, I'm in my house, in my office, I can go get a snack whenever I want. I can work whenever I want. I can take a break whenever I want. This is the easiest job on the planet. It just takes self-discipline, and it takes you understanding that you get to make your own schedule, but you have to take it seriously, and you have to set it. And it's not finding time. And it's not finding time to work out. It's not, that find. Exit the word find from your vocabulary when it comes to your business. It's making the time. It's scheduling the time. You saw my, my business activity tracker. Like I said, it's not hard. I take 10 minutes in the mornings to write down whatever I'm kind of thinking I need to do, and then I write a list. Now, maybe you want to just print out 10 sheets of paper, or your own business activity tracker, print it out, and then write in it every single day. That's fine too. For me, I don't know. I feel accomplished whenever I write stuff in a notebook. So that's just what works for me and in my business. But just making sure that you're getting yourself into a habit of doing it. And you're going to literally, like, some days when I'm sitting here like, oh, who am I going to invite today? I start to stress myself out. I just take a step back and I'm like, oh my goodness, write it down. Understand that you only need 3 people that day, and then I'll laugh at myself sometimes. So I'm like, I'm making it way harder than it needs to be. And that's where too, so as you're clicking add friend, it's going to feel really unnatural to you at first. But after a week or 2 of you just doing that over and over, it's going to become comfortable. You're not going to think about it anymore. And people will start to accept your friend requests. And those are just new people that you can send a, hey, thanks for adding me on Facebook. I see that we both have super cute dogs, or we're both dog moms, or we're both moms of girls or boys, or, you get the gist. That can be how you approach someone new and just say, we had a few mutual friends in common. How are you? I really like your little girl's dress that she had on her profile picture. Where did you get it? These are just ideas of you to connect with these new people. So don't make it hard. Make it fun. All right? Any questions? Anybody? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. We've been on here for almost an hour. I love chatting. We are going to do this as Mel posted. Mel will do the Tuesday night evening calls, and I will do the Wednesday, lunchtime calls. We're trying to give you guys options, 2 different calls each week. So I hope that you have an awesome day. I hope that you took something away. We love feedback, so if you want to post in the Vimify, our group, I would love it. So I'm excited for you guys. And yeah, you can definitely listen to both. It's going to be like the same type of content, but we both have our little spin of how we do our calls. So I love it. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Just remember, make it fun. Understand that this can be dreams that come true. And I know it sounds so cliche sometimes, but I talk about it all the time. I'm like, no way in heck did I ever think that I would be where I am today. It's super cool, and you can do the same thing. So thank you guys so much, and I enjoyed the call too, for sure. And I'll see you next week. Bye.